Hello everyone, so this is part 2 of wiring up my fence. There was a bit of a break because of the weather. It got a little colder and actually snowed. But today's actually a nice day. It's close to 70 degrees. So let's get started. For the back fence, from going there all the way towards that part over down there, I actually purchased LED deck lights made by LEONLITE, and it works very similar as the ones I put up on the side fences. I really wanted to keep everything uniform. However, I bought the wrong one and I just got lazy to change it up and return it. So I'm making the best of it. This also is just over 2 watts, and I'll show you an unboxing here. So for the LEONLITE, just like the other ones before, it comes with its own wire. The only difference with these lights is that you have a little Allen wrench, I guess, and you have to unscrew these 3 bolts to get access to the inside. Okay, as always, it comes with the screws. It comes with its screws, as well as the wire nuts. Now, when you open, change this here. When you open the lights, okay, again, taking out all the screws. If you look at the backside, there's also a silicone coating there to keep any debris out and any moisture or wetness. And what I'm going to do is, because this is a little bit more larger than the 2x4 that spans on width, I'm actually going to run the wires going into this hole, and then let me see here, use the wing nuts, because there's so much space on top. Use the wire nuts above it, and then have the wires come right back. And so one wire in goes up, and then for it to connect to the next light, I need another wire coming back out. So I'm going to have one in and one out. This wire for the light itself, as long as it is, I don't need that much length. I'm actually going to cut it and put the wire nuts above it. Okay. I didn't show it before, but when you open it, this little plastic piece actually ties this wire down here. Okay, so that way it doesn't move much. All right. So I just had to take it out. It was only Phillips head. And I don't need this much wire. So I'll just cut it up to here, maybe at least. So from the bend here, maybe just about 4 inches. Actually, you know what? Make it about 3 inches. I don't need that much. Okay, and then just gonna strip it. All right, and just pull the wires up. Perfect. Okay. Right now, I'm actually right on the midline of this post to post. It measures about 93 inches. So with my mid mark, I'm gonna drill this in. Now, the beauty about these lights is the fact that you don't have to bore those holes, which is really nice. Although it's a little bit larger, if you can tell. There's a little bit more of an overhang, which is totally fine, because I can have the wires again go in and out through this hole. Okay, so with the mid mark, I'm going to give it just enough space. Let's put the holes in. Next step is, after it's screwed in to the fence, is to get your wire from this direction. Okay, and which I already have stapled up, and then just like before, go from the hole, go straight up, and that's where you want to cut your wire. Okay, so you're gonna wire this through the hole. And then you're going to get the wire for the next light, which is on that direction, and do the same thing. So now I have both wires going in and out of this hole here, which also has a rubber grommet. Again, I'm going to just staple these up, going over to the next light. And I'm just going to wire these. Now, just remember, I'm going to wire these above the light. Okay, so in essence, what I'm doing is I'm using this whole unit as like, I guess like a little junction box. This is all cast aluminum, so that's nice. All right, the wire nuts are tied in and then coming right back out and going over to the next light. So now the next step is just to put on the screws to the faceplate, and you're all set there. The one thing that's a little bit of a disadvantage of this light is that it doesn't have that little imaginary line as the previous lights to let you know that it's leveled. So you really have to go by sight with the actual LED light itself. Okay. So I finally finished the back fence. Okay. And it ends right before this door that goes into the forest back there. We still have property that goes further out, but we pretty much just stopped it right here. And there you go. All the way through. Now, all I need to do now, as you can tell, I just have to staple up the wires and everything. But all in all, everything is pretty much intact. With some differences here. As you can tell, there is an extra post here, and I wasn't about to put an extra light between there and there. So what I did is I did purchase uplighting that I'm going to place right in the corner. That way it'll kind of cover that whole side over there. Okay. Same thing on this side of the fence. Now, if you guys remember with the leaning fence, I actually put these metal posts in between because the new posts that were down, and again, this fence is about 1.5 years old, started to sway towards the neighbor. So the problem was, you know, now these are just solar. I'm going to take those things out. But if I am going between each post and with a LED light, this galvanized pipe or post, fence post, it will get in the way. So same thing in the corner. I'm actually going to put an uplight on at each end of the post that kind of shine the fence all across, at least between each wooden post. Okay, that'll be an uplight. So you also just got to keep in mind too that when you're having a project like this, it's not like one of those things where it's once and done. You do have to check up on it maintenance wise, especially because the wires are running through a wooden fence. Now I made sure that I wrapped each wire nut with electrical tape and made sure that everything was nice and snug, but you always have to make sure that the wires don't pull apart or anything. You don't want any short in the wires as well, just to prevent any damage to the transformer. So every season I am going to periodically maybe check every other light. I know it's a little time consuming, but with something like this, you almost have to be ready that this is one of the things that you have to do to maintain its upkeep. Okay. So one of the ring transformers, the specifications are you can use up to 50 LED lights on a length of 150 feet, maybe close to 200 on some applications, depending on the voltage. I'm running 12 volts, okay, and the maximum is 150 feet. So if you go at the middle of the deck, okay, behind it where I just came from, and then wraps around just the fence alone, it's just over 170 feet. And then if you go the other direction, that's actually less. That's actually 150 feet. So what I did was, instead of having one continuous wire going all around, I actually cut it off right at that door that goes back into the forest there. So at least, you know, I kind of broke up the excessive, you know, over 150. I tried to make it even right in between. If the transformer is struggling, you know, lighting up the LEDs, which I don't think it requires much to light up, then I'll just buy a second transformer for that very reason, so I don't overload one. Okay, so that pretty much is it. I am going to do the uplighting. I'll just probably do a couple pictures on that fairly easy to do, but I'm going to try to light it up tonight and see what it looks like. Okay, thanks again for watching. Alrighty, bye bye.